So last time we studied about the ANSYS system, and then we will study about group technology today. So last time we also saw about the coordinate system and then floating zero and fixed zero. Then we also saw about the position system, absolute versus incremental. Then tool motion, point to point state and contour motion we also saw. After this we are here in group technology. Okay, this one. So here what we do in group technology, actually we integrate the, let me choose the marker. Integrate the, say, grouping. We will do the grouping of the parts. So you can see the group technology concept works on the principle of integration of identical parts or components to get economic advantage. And how we will get economic advantage, we will see in coming discussion. This is a philosophy which implies that identical components are grouped together on the basis of design and manufacturing. So we will take two criteria to classify the product. And see, when I say product, if sometimes a product can have a single part, and sometimes it can have numbers of subparts. So this, here only one part is there, and here a product is there, then it may have 5 to 10 subparts. Like when you disassemble it, you will get 5 or say 10 parts, 10 different parts. So you can understand that a part is a it can be a single, and it can have the assembly of many individual parts. Now when we group those parts, it becomes part family. What it becomes? Part family. So it is a philosophy, obviously. All in all discussion, it is a technique or philosophy that we group the part on the basis of their design or manufacturing. So a firm is engaged in producing numbers of, generally when I talk about a manufacturing organization, it is not like it is manufacturing only a single part. Like a firm is producing a ring, piston ring, say. So it is not like that firm is producing only one type of ring, piston ring. One type of piston ring, because for that firm, if it is only fixed to only one type of piston ring, so demand for this product would be limited. And obviously if that firm has employed costly machines, and resources have already invested, so it will not generate profit. So it will also produce different kinds of parts, different size, different kind. So it may produce 10 different types of ring. Then it can also produce 10 different kinds of liners for cylinders. So you can see when the company is moving from only one fixed part to different part category. Here types of ring, here types of cylinder liners. Then you can also say piston, you can also say connecting rod. So there are different types of parts. Again again I say piston. Again, you can understand a different kind of piston are there. And then do you feel any background noise? Student, tell me, do you feel any background noise? Maybe not. Okay, so I was talking about the different types of piston, and then there can be different kinds of connecting rods of different size. So overall, that firm will have the different types of part families. So when we group the parts, cylinders, oh, sorry, yes, cylinders, then piston, piston ring, then piston, then again connecting rods. So as you can say, there are we are combining the making a family of the parts. But in more general sense, you can see the a firm is engaged in producing the parts, and it is producing all these parts. So uh, how we can classify all those parts in a part family? So there, by looking, we see some difference. So we can classify the part fam. You can make we can group the part in this way, and it be so these are the parts, and then on the basis of their manufacturing, we can group it. Then this kind of part can be grouped in this way, having similarity, geometrical similarity, and this one also on the basis of manufacturing or geometrical similarity, we can group the parts. So as you can see, the grouping, we are doing the grouping of the parts. And how does it help? Why are we doing it? See, we have this part. Say for example, this part. We have this part. Say this one. We have this part, and now we have to make this part. So we can directly refer this part because the design of this part is similar, somewhat similar to this part. So we can recall the design of this part, and same times we are able to get the manufacturing process, how to manufacture this part. We will get some idea because slight changes, maybe some slight or sometimes more changes in existing part, and you are able to make the new part. You will be able to design the new part, and sometimes everything, because the design similarity is there. So production process, it means how will you produce the same part, you can easily identify without going much detail, without thinking much. Same, you have this part and you have to make this part. So you can directly refer the design data, manufacturing process of this part, because it is already existing in the your organization, in your manufacturing department. So this one is existing, and then you will recall it, and then with some changes you can easily make it. And then sometimes you are also able to get the production process, because the production process would be same. So for this, again you can do the same, because if the parts are grouped in together on the basis of production process, so if this part is made from the forging operation, this part will be also can be made from the forging also, and it will be made from the forging operation. So again, grouping of the parts, as you can see, there are different types of parts. So when on the basis of geometry, so turn part you can group in this way, geometrical parts or stepped part you can turn this way, and rolled part you can, by rolling process, you can group in this way. So all the parts you can group in this way. So this becomes a part family, this becomes another part family, this becomes another part family. Again, see for this example, this one is uh, turn part. Turn means when there is a axis of symmetry. So this becomes a turn part, this one and this one, that is having the, sorry, third part. So there is a axis of symmetry, you can directly get it by turning operation, this kind of parts. And again this one is a prism type. Prism is having the two flat base, or one flat top, and rest are faces are joined like this. So you can see this one is prism, this one is prism, this one is also prism, and this one is a rectangular box. So every, if you can make this rectangular box with some modification in design, you can also make this prism. So these parts make another family. So this, for another family you can take this one, family 2, this one family 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. These parts are for part family 2, and these are encircled part family 1. Again, see, on the basis of, let me zoom it. Hello? Nobody informed me that my screen is not visible. Guys, you should have informed me that I have not shared my screen. Anyway, so again, what we can do here, there are different types of parts. A firm is engaged in producing the various kind of parts. So that firm has grouped part C in this way. Group 1, the same, having this geometrical similarity. Then group 2, this one having this geometrical design similarity. Group 3, then group 4, then we have group 5, then we have group 6, then we have group 7. Here you will see this one, you can see two views here of a part. If you think this one is front view, then this can be a side view. Front view, side view, front view, side view, front view, side view. And if this one you think front view, then this becomes your side view. All these. And this one again front view, then this these are the other view. So there is no clear definition which view you are taking. You can also take this view, and this can be a side view. You can also take this as a front view. This can be a side view. So actually what we are projecting here, two views, and those parts are grouped together. You put some group number 7. Group number 8, as you can see, two views, two views, parts can be grouped. So these are the group, part group 8. Then again part group 9, we have this part. Then group 10, again we have this group 11. Then we have group 12. So as you have seen that parts are being grouped on the basis of their design. Parts can be grouped on the basis of manufacturing also, as we discussed it in previous slide. So when we go for the grouping of the parts, there are basically we consider two types of attributes. One is design attributes, and what are those attributes? That shape may be external or internal, then rotational feature prismatic or sheet metal, then length and diameter ratio, then measure minor dimensions, materials, tolerances, surface finish. These are the attributes we will consider when we go for the classification of the part family. Again, manufacturing attributes can be manufacturing process, manufacturing equipments. What are the equipments in manufacturing? Manufacturing sequence, it means the processing operation, that after milling it will go on turning, after turning it will go on the drilling, after drilling it will go on the grooving operation. So process sequence, we can classify the part family. Then surface treatment, there are various kind of surface treatment. So you can also like quenching, annealing, hardening, tempering. So on the basis of this, you can also. Then production time and production rate. It means mass production, or it taking shorter time or longer time, and again mass production. Then on the basis of cutting tool, which type of cutting tool is being used. So on that basis, and then use of the jigs and fixture required. So we can also classify on the basis of. So as you can see, there are lots of variables for classification of part families. So how do we classify in group technology? That components of parts are classified in families. Obviously we have seen that. Then workloads are balanced between production groups. When we go for the group technology, so in group technology, since parts are grouped, and again there are machines, so all the machines are engaged. So machines are engaged, machine 1, 2, 3, 4, machine 5, 6, 7, 8. So part family 1 is being produced here, part family 2 can be produced here. So again, see part family A, and it has the part 1, say small a. Again, because family can have a hierarchy, so part family A can be produced here. After sometimes you can go for the, in the case of batch production, part similar kind of part but difference in dimension. So part family B in the same type of part. Again, this machine can have part family B, and it again, like say it can have also A and B types parts. So it will have some differences in dimension or geometry, but this department is shop floor department is also able to produce also is producing part B, and this one is also producing part A. So in your organization is producing both types of parts, A and B, same times in subcategory also it is producing. So that firm can complete the market demand of part varieties, because we will have different kind of order and we need to fulfill those order. So to fulfill those order, we need to obviously produce it. So machines are limited. So if you go one by one, obviously you will miss some order. So what you can do, you go for the grouping of the parts and then batch production you can go. So there it helps in meeting the customer order. So you can say workloads are balanced between production groups. Production groups are clearly identifiable on the shop floor. You can easily identify the production group, and each group works with a significant degree of autonomy. It means one, like in previous case, part family A and part family B. So this is almost independent of this part family. So here workers and machines, whatever is there, it is independent. So that's why significant degree of autonomy. Short cycle flow control to order the parts which are to be made by each group. So here we have the short cycle flow control, because the parts machines are grouped together. So parts move a smaller distance from one machine to another machine. So as you can see, we have the short cycle flow. So as you can see, this one, lathe, lathe, lathe. This one is a general case when you have not thought about future, and then you have installed your lathe machine in like this, drilling machine in like this, and then drilling machine again like this, and then grinding machine here, and assembling of your parts here. So consider this scenario when you have not thought about the future, what will happen in future. So uh, there here a parts originates say interest from here, and then after operation on this machine, it goes on this machine. So again, after going this machine, it goes here, again it goes here, it goes here, and then it goes here, and then it goes here. Some parts may go here, some parts go here, and then it goes to final assembly, and from here it goes to final assembly. As you can see, there is a lots of travel of the parts. You see, parts are traveling from here, here, here. That much, so much cycle time. Again, see the drawbacks of this production technique. Here you 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 need to have huge number of parts that you will produce, because after one completion you will have some part here in waiting time, waiting, then you will have also part here waiting. On each machine you will have some part to work. Okay, so obviously what is this? It is, you are creating an inventory of the parts between the machines, and obviously when you are creating inventory of the part at each machine, the this input part, number of input parts, work part, you need to have more in more quantity. So obviously for that you need to purchase more of material at a single time. So again travel of the part, it to travel this one, this one, this one, it will also take time, and in taking time you need to again conveyor belt also, or transfer part transfer mechanism you need to have. So overall it will lead to huge machining cost or production cost, you can say. So, okay, so final here you are assembling your part. So see this, how complicated is this, and then what will happen, consider a scenario. Consider this scenario. Okay, let's talk about this machine and this machine. Mm, 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 mm. This machine. Suppose sometimes these two machines are different, and it is being used only for the finishing operation. This one, but this one is your main machine where you need grinding operation, and it is your main machine. This one is only for finishing operation. Suppose this machine sometimes it breaks down. If it break down, after breaking down, what will happen here? This lathe machine will not send part because there is already parts in waiting. This drilling machine will not, because machines don't send parts. Actually there are operators, and operators send the part from one machine to another machine. So as you know, this machine already not working, so it will not accept the part. Operator obviously, who will not, machine, not machine, operator will not accept the part. And here operators, what this operator will do, it will have the waiting of the parts to send, and then this again here operator, it will try to send, but as this machine is already not working, so this operator will not also send the more part. And then what will happen, since if it is not sending, it will also not accept the parts from other machines, so it will not also from here other, now here, not here, not again, it will not accept other, the same way other will not also accept. So this is the case of bottleneck, where your important machine breaks down, it disturbs your all the operations. So as you can see, this machine is the classic example of bottleneck. If this machine breaks down, you will, whole production process will stop. Okay, so this was the drawback. So for that you need to have either a another setup ready for, if this machine break down, you can directly shift your work on that machine. Again, to make it ready you need to invest more. Again you need a operator. Sometimes generally it takes 1 or 2 days, and as you can understand, if a manufacturing, if a organization is engaging manufacturing, 1 or 2 day production halt is a huge loss. So next, what can be done? So what you can do, machine you can group in this way: lathe, drilling machine, grinding machine, assembly. Then milling machine, this one is milling machine, drilling machine, assembly. Then again lathe, here it is lathe machine, milling machine, drilling machine, grinding machine, assembly. Then here again milling machine, grinding machine, assembly. So what you have done, that you have identified the part, or that what are the process that are needed to produce that part. So lathe, drilling, grinding, and assembly. So you have listed it, and then so you can go for the part family 1, This becomes your part family 2, part family 3, part family 4. And so if the any machine is breakdown, it will not disturb the other production process. Okay, so this one, again I want to tell you one more thing. And again you can see this one, which kind of layout it is. Exactly, progressive or line layout. Progressive or line. As you can see, machines are arranged in a line, or machines are arranged in a process that are required to follow. So you can see what advantage bottleneck case you have avoided here. Now let's talk about. So we will talk more for 1 minute here. Functional area. When we consider design as our attributes, so what we get in advantage in group technology: reduction in number of drawings, reduction because obviously from one drawing we can quickly shift to another drawing by some modification. Reduction in time to identify the drawings. Obviously drawings are already coded. Sorry, part drawings are already coded, so you can directly identify easily modification. Production planning and control. These are the reduction setup and production time. Again, improved machining loading. We will see the machine when grouped together, you can easily load and unload it. Reduction in work in process inventory. I talked about work in process in earlier discussion, where part have to store at each machine, part have to wait at each machine. Then simplified production scheduling. Then easy identification of bottlenecks. You can like in previous case that grinding machine, that main grinding machine was a case of bottleneck. Then reduce complexity and size of the parts scheduling problems. So obviously if you are going for the new part, you can directly identify the parts uh, scheduling, that at what time you have to send. Scheduling means time, which part should be sent at what time on which machine. That is a concept of scheduling. Reduce manufacturing lead time, because machines are set up as per the process. So as you get order, you can simply uh, go back and check if your setup, you do you have an existing setup or not, and then if have, go for the, you can directly utilize that setup for production of new parts. Then lead to automated process planning. Obviously if you have already part family A, you have that process plan, manufacturing process you have already for part family A, and then later the similar kind of part comes, and it can also be grouped in part family A, and you have to produce it, so you can directly use the already planned part process. Then we have layout. Layout is the reduced floor space required for production, because machines are in a group, so you have less floor space, less material movements. As we have seen in line type layout, there was material only 1 2 3 or 4 and finished. So less material movement, less material handling effort. Obviously only less less effort is needed to handle the material, because material is also less. More flexibility is increased. Then tooling and equipments, we have this reduced changes in setup. Then standardization of tools and equipments, less number of tools, jigs and fixer required, and better utilization of tools and equipment can be done. Quality in quality side, we have this less number of defects in rejection, more precise path, better output quality leads to automatic quality control system. And human side, we have improved workers' attitude, higher level of job satisfaction, better delegation and responsibility, better management of worker relationship. So in previous case, where there was bottleneck case, operator was stopping that do not send it, and then as you can see, previous operator will try to send, and then there will that will lead to conflict, and then that's how you avoid it when you use group technology. So improved worker attitude is improved, and workers are satisfied because there is less conflict or almost no confliction. So job satisfaction and responsibilities are also increased, better management workers relationships. So there are four group, 1 2 3 4. So if this operator is responsible for this part, this operator is, so as you can see, it will try to manage its shop floor nicely. So better management and worker relationship, and sometimes, oh, this one is hierarchy level, that there is a relation between worker management and worker that is improved, because if anything happens, management can solve this problem. So obviously relationship is improved. Then others may include accurate and quick cost estimates directly, less number of parts or raw materials involved, provide standardized rule for purchasing. So this also helps in business process. So for that, I finish it here, and next we will discuss remaining part.